All right, folks, welcome back. This is JE Live, and we are here to talk about the 9-2 LA Rams and what went on last night with their soon-to-be matchup this Sunday, the Carolina Panthers. Before we get into that, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. But yeah, we got some news. Tutu Atwell is going to play this Sunday, but there's also a chance we're going to see a Ahkello Witherspoon sooner than later. You see number 4 in the background. That's the most you've seen 4 this year, has been in my backdrop. But Ahkello Witherspoon is returning. Is it going to be this week? Is it going to be next week? Or is it going to be the week after? My money is on him. He could return this week, but if he doesn't return this week, he's definitely coming back for the Cardinal game. Definitely hearing good things about that. But yes, this Rams team right now, they're the team to beat. They're the best team in football. We all saw it. Everyone saw it. Sunday Night Football. And then we saw Monday Night Football. And we saw the San Francisco 49ers, the team the Rams clobbered. And we saw that Brock Purdy that everybody kept talking about following a game against the Cardinals. And we saw Brock Purdy throw 3 interceptions. No velocity on those throws at all. 1 touchdown, 6 picks when throwing 15-plus yards downfield. We saw it. But you know what else we saw? We saw a Carolina Panthers team that is going to absolutely get decimated, taken down, deconstructed by the LA Rams. If you thought the Tampa game wasn't close, Carolina is not going to be close. This isn't a jinx. I don't believe in jinxing. You guys already know. I told you they'd blow out the Buccaneers. They blew out the Buccaneers. Didn't think they'd blow them out by that much, but they did. Right now, Carolina is in shit's creek. Unfortunately for them, reality is starting to set in. Reality that we kind of all suspected. They weren't going to beat the 49ers. They're 6-6. They're staring below 500 in the face. And they are one of those old school, classic pretenders. But the proof was always in the pudding with Carolina, folks. And this isn't to dog on Carolina, but they started off the season 0-2. They lost to the Cardinals. They got destroyed, dominated by Jacksonville. Then they blow out the Falcons, who aren't even a good football team. Then they get blown out by the Patriots, 42-13. Then they barely beat Miami. They barely beat Dallas. They barely beat the Jets. They get decimated by the Buffalo Bills, 40-9. They win a fluke game against Green Bay, 16-13, barely. They lose to the Saints. They beat the Falcons in OT, again, not a good team. And then they have 3 turnovers on Brock Purdy and can only come up with 9 points against the San Francisco 49ers. This is not a good football team. It's just not. There's a lot of former Rams on there. My friend Bobby Brown is on this team. I love Bobby. I like a lot of the former Rams on this team. I mean, we could go through them. You got Nick Scott on this team, right? Super Bowl champion Nick Scott. You got Christian Roseboom on this team. You got Bobby Brown on this team. You got Ashawn Robinson on this team. There are guys that I really like that are on this team. Ejiro Evero is a part of this coaching staff, right? Jonathan Cooley, part of this coaching staff. Austin Corbett is a part of this team. There's a lot of former Rams on this team. But unfortunately, I call it like I see it, and I just don't think this is a good football team. I just don't. I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're good. They're just kind of eh. The Rams right now are the number 1 team in PFF. They have been. The number 1 offense and the number 1 defense. They're the number 1 team in DVOA rating. They're the number 1 team in SRS, simple rating system, according to Pro Football Reference. They're the best team in football. There is a margin there, too. They have the best quarterback in the National Football League. They have a run game that you could turn it on, at any point. You got the two best receivers. This is the best receiving duo in the league. You got 13 personnel that you could use any tight end with, and no one seems to be able to stop you. You have an offensive line that continues to get better and better. The interior is really good. You really fixed your right tackle situation. Defense might be the best in the league. They're getting turnovers now. Think about it. So this week against Carolina, not only could they potentially be getting Akello Witherspoon and Tutu Atwell this week, they will be getting a Tutu Atwell back. We don't know if they'll get Akello back. That's still a possibility. But currently, there is a chance that the Panthers could be without some players. J.C. Horn went into the concussion protocol. Okay? Mind you, it's a short week already because it's a Monday Night Football game. That's going to be hard for him to get ready to play on Sunday. So if J.C. Horn is out for this team, they are in deep shit. At that point, you got Mike Jackson, who I mentioned as a trade candidate. So I like Mike Jackson. I think he's a good football player. I do. But you got Mike Jackson. Then, after that, you got Chow Smith-Wade, who's your nickel. And you got Corey Thornton and a Caleb Evans. That's it. Then you have Trayvon Merrick, who's suspended for this game. He's appealing. He punched Jawan Jennings in the groin. So that's what we're looking at. Trevin Wallace is questionable. Christian Roseboom is questionable. Their center, Cade Mays, is questionable. There's a lot of injuries here. Chandler Zavala is questionable. He had a walking boot on his left leg following Monday night's loss. This is not good. Carolina could get absolutely boat raced on Sunday by the Rams. If you've been paying attention, the Rams are winners of 6 straight. The Rams also have a streak you might not be aware of since the Jaguars game. If they play a good team, it's not a blowout. If they play a good team, if they don't play a good team, it's always a blowout. It was a blowout against Jacksonville, 28-point win, 24-point win over the Saints. You had a 26-point win over the San Francisco 49ers. 16-point win. Wow, can totally do math right now. 16-point win over the 49ers, 42-26. The one really good team they played, Seattle, close win. And then a 27-point win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Carolina's already been blown out by the best teams they faced this year. The Rams are going to roll in this one. I don't care that they all of a sudden have to go play on the East Coast. Look at Sean McVay's record when he plays on the East Coast. He always has his guys prepared. Then you have Arizona in Arizona. That also is going to be a blowout. Then you have the Rams and Lions. I will be at that game. If you've been watching Jared Goff and that pass protection, then you know what's coming for him on December 14th. You're going to feel bad. Almost. So, really, it comes down to that Thursday. I think the Rams run the table if they beat Seattle. If they lose to Seattle, I think Seattle's going to run the table. If both teams finish 14-3, the Rams have the tiebreaker due to wins in common games. That would be the tiebreaker. But I think the Rams are going to decimate Carolina. I was watching Bryce Young, and I just don't know what he's going to be able to do against this defense. Rico Dowdle isn't running the ball the way he was earlier in the year. He's not doing it against the Rams. It's funny. I see in the comment section still, can we not say blowout? Can we not jinx it? I'm going to get you guys prepared for what it's like to have the best team in the league again if it kills me. There's no jinxing. You have to start getting comfortable with the fact this team is just simply better than everyone else. That Seahawks game is still a toss-up because they're a great football team. It's on a short week, and it's in Seattle. But I'm going to get you guys back to where we were the Super Bowl season. There's no more of this, oh, you're going to jinx it, you're going to jinx it, you're going to jinx it. No. Nothing I do will dictate what happens on Sunday in Carolina. So guys, relax, enjoy. This is what we've been waiting for. This is the team we've been waiting for. Because guess what? Even in 2021, and by the way, I'll bring up 2021 because a lot of people said I was going to jinx it. I'll never forget when I said I will never shave again until the Rams win the Super Bowl. And people said I was crazy. Never, I was like, nope, I'm not shaving until the Rams win the Super Bowl because I'm that confident they're going to win the Super Bowl. Remember that? I remember it. I was serious. I was so confident that they were going to win it all. In addition to that, I remember November, the no-win November. Everyone was saying, I'm not capping. Nope. Ask anybody who was following me then. But anyway, November, no-win November in 2021, I immediately, every single time I went live after a game that they lost, the Packers, 36-28, the 49ers 31-10 loss, or the loss to the Titans, I think it was 30-16. Every single time I had people saying, do you still believe in this team now, Jake? Do you still think this team is legit now, Jake? Do you still think we're going to win the Super Bowl now, Jake? I'm out. And I said straight up, I was like, no. I'm not out on this team, not out at all. And yes, I still believe they're going to win the Super Bowl. I was convinced. Here's the thing. It's not about getting cocky. It's not about getting cocky. What it is about is the fact that it's time for us to stop doing the whole, oh, you're going to jinx them. Oh, can we not talk about that one game at a time? Guys, the players have the one game at a time approach. I don't have to have the one game at a time approach. I'm not playing. I'm not coaching. I have nothing to do with said games. The Rams are laughably dominant right now. Laughably. So, I mean, say what you will, but I was watching last night and I saw a team that is going to get baptized by the Rams on Sunday. That Panthers team, they had 3 takeaways on Brock Purdy and they couldn't do anything. You think the 49ers are that good? No. The 49ers are going to make the playoffs. Are the 49ers any good? No. There are 49er fans that have it in their minds that they want to see the Rams in the playoffs, that they think Brock Purdy is the difference and it's going to go down differently. I can assure you, if the Rams see the 49ers in the playoffs, that game will not be close. That game will not be close. So let's just be honest here. The Rams are blowing everyone out, and now they're going to be getting back Tutu Atwell, who's going to open up the deep part of the field. So now you have that field stretcher. You can do all the stuff you do underneath. Don't don't be surprised if Puka Nacua all of a sudden starts having more yards than he's had. But having Tutu back is going to be huge. And then having Akello back, if that happens this week or next, that's going to be huge. So, well, and what I would say to this, and I get what you're saying, but here's what I would say. The Rams played Seattle. The Rams didn't trail at any point in that game. That's the second best team in football. SRS has them as the second best team in football. PFF does. DVOA does. And guess what? The Rams never trailed in that game. The Panthers don't get that benefit of the doubt. They also never were in the lead. So it's a different, respectfully, it's just a different thing all in itself. By the way, the Rams, because I don't know if people realize this, since the second quarter of the Baltimore Ravens game, the Rams have not trailed. That was week 6. That is dominance. The Rams haven't trailed a team since the second quarter of week 6. Like, it's okay to feel really good about this team. It's okay. They have it all. Everyone was hoping about the special teams being an issue. Well, guess what? They've fixed the special teams. What about right tackle Rob Havenstein? He was banged up. They put him on IR. Now Warren McClendon Jr. is playing at a high level. They have that figured out. Realistically, the only thing, and this is me actually being picky, the only thing that I can actually think of that the Rams have some sort of weakness with is the way they use their stunts. Now, last year, they had the highest success rate in the NFL when using stunts, pass rushing stunts I'm talking about. This year, they don't have the highest success rate. They have one of the lowest success rates. Why does this concern me in any way? Well, because one, I'm being picky to show you that there's not a lot to be worried about. But two, the actual reason is if you face a Lamar Jackson in the Super Bowl or you face a Jalen Hurts, whoever you face, right? If they're mobile and they take off like Baker Mayfield did, guess what? They're going to make you pay. Teams that run, because here's the thing, stunts work. They do. But the Rams have been chaotic and they haven't been finishing stunts. And if you're not going to finish the stunts, and all of a sudden you're going to have quarterbacks like Baker Mayfield run up the middle and everybody's playing man coverage and there's just a wide open sea of green, that's how they're going to move the chains. So there you go. That's me being picky. That is literally the only picky thing that I can find about the Rams is how chaotic they are pass rushing stunts. That's it. That is picky. I know it is. Because right now, this team is that good. I mean, look at across the league right now. Look at their point differential and their strength of schedule. If you guys didn't see my SRS video I did yesterday, highly recommend you check it out. Not only are the Rams the best team in the league right now, through 11 games, this Los Angeles Rams team is the 8th best team according to simple rating system metric by Pro Football Reference. This is the 8th best team of all time since 1970. That is insane. And it's a combination of obviously the talent they have, but also the coaching and the experiences that they've shared. Sean McVay has learned every step of the way. You want to feel even better about last year? As frustrating as that loss was, that SRS of the team last year was the second worst of Sean McVay's entire career as a head football coach of the LA Rams. In other words, Pro Football Reference, and I'm not saying that it's the Bible, but it gives you a good metric based on strength of schedule and point differential. The 2024 Rams were the second worst team in the Sean McVay era, and they were that close to beating a team that went on to win the Super Bowl. And we all know they were that close to being the team to win the Super Bowl. Do you see what I'm getting at? And also, the 2017 Rams were the second best team in the Sean McVay era. They had a 9.2 SRS. The 2025 Rams have a 14.4. It's an all-timer. The 2018 Rams that went to the Super Bowl and lost had an 8.5. The 2020 Rams had a 5.4. That's three Rams teams with Jared Goff that were rated ahead of the Super Bowl winning 2021 Rams. What's the difference? I'll tell you the difference. The difference is that those had Jared Goff and this one has Matthew Stafford. And if you think for a second that Jared Goff didn't drastically hold back what the Rams were capable of doing early on in Sean McVay's career, I don't know what to tell you. Because if you put Matthew Stafford at the helm in 2017, Sean McVay's rookie year, I think they would have won the Super Bowl. And I also think they would have won in 2018. 2019, they would have made the playoffs. They wouldn't have had the down year. In 2020, with that elite defense, they also could have won the Super Bowl. So, as crazy as it sounds, you could argue Matthew Stafford should have probably won 3 Super Bowls if he was the Rams quarterback from the time Sean McVay took over. That's how much the Lions held back Stafford's career, and number 2, how much Jared Goff held back the Rams and Sean McVay's. There you go. Matthew Stafford has 27 touchdowns, no interceptions. 27 touchdowns without an interception. He has 30 touchdowns on the year, only 2 picks. If he throws a touchdown against Carolina, as long as he doesn't throw an interception, if he just throws 1 touchdown, he breaks, think about this, he breaks Tom Brady's record for most touchdown passes without an interception. So think about that. I mean, that's insane. Tom Brady, right now, they're tied at 27. "27 straight touchdown passes without an interception." So, there you go. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. 27 consecutive. And think about this. Brady had to do it over the course of 2 seasons. Stafford's doing it in the same season. Well, and this is another one that's 100% true. There's no way he gets held to only 3 points. Exactly. Because, guys, a big reason why the Rams were held to 3 points was Sean McVay's inexperience, but mainly Jared Goff's inexperience going against Bill Belichick. That is what happened. I also want to talk about something about the Rams. Is it just me, or is this Rams fan base starting to really show up? It's not just me, right? We're all noticing it now. Like the Rams fan base really showed up on Sunday Night Football against the Bucs. You could see it right on TV. You could hear it through the TV. I wasn't there. Can't confirm what it looked like. But man, it does feel like this is starting to become that home field advantage that we were hoping for. And if you look, the rest of the schedule, I don't see the 49ers on there. At SoFi Stadium, there's only 2 more games at SoFi Stadium, which is insane to me. Detroit and Arizona, both of which SoFi is going to be rocking. If currently, the way it stands right now, the Rams have the 1 seed. I'm hopeful that they'll keep it. But again, that Seahawks game is very interesting. I'll tell you right now, that Bears-Eagles game on Friday night, Black Friday, is everything. If the Eagles lose to the Bears, I don't think the Bears are winning out. If the Eagles lose to the Bears, the Rams could lose to Seattle and still get that number 1 seed. We shall see how it goes, but man, I'm looking forward to that. So let's talk about this. Right now, if the season ended today, the Rams would have a bye. The Eagles would play the 49ers in the first round. That's not an easy one. Then you have the Packers going to Soldier Field and playing Chicago. And then you have Seattle going to Tampa in a huge rematch because Tampa won the first game earlier in the year in Seattle. Seattle will be going to Tampa for their matchup. Now, it's pretty crazy because the Rams would be on the hook to likely play, if we're being honest with ourselves. They'd be on the hook to play Seattle in the divisional round. Because Chicago would likely beat Green Bay. Philadelphia would likely beat San Francisco. Seattle would be the highest seed, so the Rams would get Seattle. Then the Eagles would get Chicago and Philly. If the Rams beat Seattle at SoFi, which I believe they would be hosting the NFC title game against the Eagles. Could you imagine that rematch? This Eagles team right now, I don't think would stand a chance against the Rams. Truthfully. Right now, the Eagles don't have the offense for it. Can they figure it out? Sure. But right now, as of November 25th, the Eagles are not good enough to beat the Rams. It took everything for them to beat the Rams, who weren't even that good week 3. They were nowhere near what they are right now. I mean, just think about how abused Emmanuel Forbes was against A.J. Brown. Do you really think that would happen now? Forbes is playing out of his mind. Forbes is 3rd in the league. He's tied for 3rd in the league in pass breakups with 13. He's got 13 pass breakups. He's been fantastic. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's you get excited, but you also don't want to look too far ahead, but at the same time you do get excited. If the season ended today, New England in the AFC would have the 1 seed. They would have a bye. Denver would have the 2. They'd host Buffalo. My money would be on Denver. I don't think Buffalo is that good. Indianapolis would host Jacksonville. I'd take Indy. Baltimore would take on the Chargers, and the Chiefs would be out of the playoffs. I don't foresee this happening. I think for sure the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs, and I think they have a shot to go all the way and get back to the Super Bowl. I'm not out on them. I wasn't out on them before the Colts game. I'm definitely not out of them now. So, but my point that I want to really bring up is when I say the Rams are the best team in the league, and then people will come back and say they're one of the best. Okay, who's better? Is it the New England Patriots who are playing the easiest schedule known to man? No. Is it the Denver Broncos? Would you really take Bo Nix over Stafford? Would you really take Sean Payton over Sean McVay? What about the Broncos are you taking over the Rams? What about the Colts? The Rams beat the Colts. The Rams weren't even the Rams they are now when they beat the Colts. The Ravens? I mean, are you going to take the Rams went into Baltimore and beat the Ravens? They have Lamar Jackson back, and Lamar Jackson's been horrendous. The Chargers? Without Joe Alt? Without Rashawn Slater? No. Jaguars? We know where that went the last time, and the Rams are a better team than the time they played Jacksonville. How about Buffalo? Are you kidding me? The Rams would beat Buffalo by 10 plus points. This is one of the worst Bills teams I've seen. I don't understand the hype behind this team. I don't get it. They're not a good team. The AFC is going to have a few teams that make the playoffs that you're like, I mean, the Chiefs, in my mind, are one of the teams that I think can get to the Super Bowl in the AFC and aren't even in the picture right now. If the season ended today, they would miss it. Anyone can run against the Bills. Anyone can throw on the Bills. So how are the Bills going to stop the Rams? That's my point. New England's a very good football team. Yes, but it's also fair to bring up how they haven't played anybody. Their strength of schedule is horrendous. I don't know if people are aware of how bad, so I'm going to break it down for you. In terms of all the playoff teams, the Rams, the Buccaneers have the toughest strength of schedule in the NFC, and the Rams have the second toughest in the NFC. In the AFC, only one team in the AFC that's in the playoffs, if the season ended today, has an above 500 strength of schedule, and that's Jacksonville. Only one team. Patriots are playing a 346 strength of schedule. That is the lowest I've ever seen. I've never seen a strength of schedule that low for a team that is playing playoff football. The Broncos have a 414 strength of schedule. The Colts have a 430 strength of schedule. The Ravens have a 488. The Chargers have a 426. Jacksonville has a 520. Buffalo has a 455. If you want to be honest here, the actual best teams based on strength of schedule, the Kansas City Chiefs at a 541 and the Houston Texans at a 566. If you want the best AFC teams in the playoffs, then you want the Texans and Chiefs. The Texans have a Super Bowl defense that just absolutely crushed the Bills. And the Chiefs, they're playing one of the toughest schedules out there, and they're somehow 6-5. They lost a 3-point game to Denver. They lost a 7-point game on the road to Buffalo. They lost a 3-point game on the road in Jacksonville. All three of those teams are in the playoffs currently. They lost a 3-point game to Philly in the playoffs, and they lost a 6-point game to the Chargers, who, again, if the season ended today, are in the playoffs. See, people don't want to admit it, but the Chiefs are legit. They're just literally, they're losing these close games to all these great teams, and they've been dealing with injuries. But my point in bringing up the AFC, especially from the Rams' perspective, is who is stopping the Rams if the NFC can't do it? Who are you going to match up with? The Chiefs, as much as I give them credit, the Chiefs are the second worst team in defending against play action. How on earth are they going to stop Matthew Stafford and the Rams? Think about it. How? How are you going to do that? As I lose my voice. How are you going to stop the Rams if you can't defend play action? The only defense in the AFC that can stop the Rams is either going to be Denver, But then can I trust Bo Nix in the Super Bowl against Matthew Stafford? That I don't know. New England's not stopping the Rams. The Colts aren't stopping the Rams. The Ravens aren't stopping the Rams. The Chargers, the Jaguars, the Bills, none of them. It is going to be either the Texans, Broncos, or the Chiefs will magically figure it out. But the point is, nobody is really going to be able to stop the Rams. So then you look at the NFC. Who can stop the Rams? Well, the hope is, if you're the NFC and you really don't want the Rams to represent the NFC, the hope is that the Eagles do just enough to steal that game. The hope is that Vic Fangio's defense that's playing very good football just gets enough help from their offense and is able to shut down Matthew Stafford and the Rams defense. Keep in mind, Matthew Stafford did not have his best game against Philly. That's something to keep in mind. The Rams didn't play that well on the offensive side against Philly. They were held in check in the red zone. They kicked a lot of field goals, if you remember. That is their one thing. The Bears, can you trust the Bears? The Bears also are playing the easiest strength of schedule. They're actually playing almost as easy of a strength of schedule as the Patriots at a 365. I don't know. I don't think they can stop the Rams. Tampa can't. We know that. Of course, if Jamel Dean played, they probably wouldn't have lost that badly. Seattle, that defense did stop the Rams offense. They still lost. The Packers, that defense, it's a good one. I still think the Rams would be able to throw on it. The 49ers, we saw what happened there. The Lions defense is better this year than it has been in years past. I still don't think they're going to be able to stop the Rams. And that's it. Dallas this week with a win can stay in their like little bubble of making the playoffs. I don't think they're going to, but they're going to need to win this week against the Chiefs if they want to. If not, it is an only 8-team race in the in the NFC. In the AFC right now, it's a 10-team race. Like, you look at what is on this, in this league right now, and I just don't think there's a lot out there that can stop what the Rams are doing. That's just the reality of it. Deontay Smith, thank you for the 5. Jake, why does this mainstream sports media, ESPN, etc., barely cover the Rams despite being the best team in the NFL? I'll be honest with you, Deontay, I don't watch, so I couldn't really tell you. My thing is, I've always heard East Coast bias. I live on the East Coast. I think that might be fair to some degree. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put too much stock on it. This is why, by the way, shows like mine, shows like other people, NFC West Roundtable tonight, check that out. And of course, on this channel, Downtown Rams in less than 4 hours. It's why these shows exist. It's because you guys keep coming back and you want to listen to stuff that's personalized for you. You want to hear about your team. So I can't say I complain about it. Because for me personally, makes it easy. A lot of these shows aren't going to talk about your favorite team, so I can do the talking about with your favorite team. It works out for me. But no, I get what you're saying. Appreciate the 5. Big John, thank you for the 2. Talib was saying his Broncos can take the Rams. I mean, to be fair, lost a Super Bowl with the Rams, won a Super Bowl with the Broncos. I'm sure there's more. He was obviously with the Broncos most of his career. I understand that. I just don't think it's based in reality. Because, again, Denver, that defense could be a problem. Although, let's be honest here, they haven't really played a great schedule like the Rams have. The defense could absolutely be the problem. But, and call me a hater, I don't believe for a second that Bo Nix can stand toe-to-toe with Matthew Stafford. And the difference is here. If the Rams have to score 30 plus, the Rams can score 30 plus. if Denver has to score 30 plus, I don't think Denver can score 30 plus. I just don't. I'm not a believer in Bo Nix. He made me look kind of foolish last year. I'll give him that. But I am not high on Bo Nix at all. And call me a hater, but that's just how I feel. And you look, and let's be honest here. The Colts have scored more points than anybody at 341. They've given up 229 points this season. That's a 112-point differential. They've done a really nice job this year. It still feels like they're starting to fall down back to reality, but they're a good team. The Lions, they've given up 243 points. They've scored 326. What do I make of the Lions? They're a really good home team. They're a bad road team. They're 3-3 on the road. They're 1-2 in their good division now. They have a plus 83-point differential. There's a chance that they're going to be one of the best teams to not make the playoffs, is what it is. Seattle, 324 points scored, only 217 allowed. That's a 107-point differential. This is a team that is 8-3. They're 4-3 in the conference. They are 5-1 on the road. They're 3-2 at home. They're a really good road team. That's a good recipe for success. They're the second best team in football, in my opinion. There you go. Dallas is very fascinating because Dallas is really good at home. And guess what? I believe they're at home against the Kansas City Chiefs this Thursday on Thanksgiving. They're 5-1. Had they not tied the Green Bay Packers, they would be, what, 6-5? That would be nice for them. Dallas beat Philly, which kept their playoff hopes alive, but they're a 2-4 road team. Okay? This is a team that is 3-4-1 in the conference. That's not going to help them. They have scored 320 points this year, but they've allowed 314. That's a plus 6-point differential. Positive, then they've won 2 straight, including a very impressive win against the Eagles where they had to come back and steal it. But at the same time, they give up a lot of points. Then you look at the New England Patriots. Patriots have scored 318 points, but they've given up 226, which isn't bad, but they've still given up points. They're 4-2 at home. They're undefeated on the road. They play the easiest schedule. They've won 9 straight. They have a plus 92-point differential. The Buffalo Bills are at 7-4. They have scored 311 points and 252 points they've allowed. They have a plus 59-point differential. Buffalo is a dangerous team when playing in Buffalo. But when they have to do what the big boys have to do and play on the road, they're not a good road team. They're actually a below 500 road team. They're 2-3, just like the Colts. Interesting. The Rams, they are 5-1 at home. They're 4-1 on the road. They have 306 points scored, and they have only 179 points allowed. That's a plus 127-point differential. Now you can see the difference. The Rams haven't scored as much as some of these other teams, but they haven't even allowed 200 points yet to this point in the season. That is the difference. So, we still haven't even talked about Denver. And I'm going to keep listing off teams until we get to Denver to try to prove a point. Chicago, against one of the easiest strength of schedules, has only scored 289 points. They've given up 292. They have a negative 3-point differential, which is the only team in that top 15-16 cluster that has a negative point differential. They're 8-3. Are they fool's gold? Probably. But hopefully they can find a way to beat the Eagles. That would be really nice. San Francisco, 281 points, allowed 261, only a plus 20-point differential. The Kansas City Chiefs, 277. They've only allowed 201. The defense is really good, not really giving enough credit to them, plus 76. Baltimore, they've scored 275. They've allowed 261, not quite the Baltimore defense of years past, a plus 14. Pittsburgh, 274 points, 250 allowed, and 274, 263 allowed. They have a plus 11. They just lost a close game to the Bears. Jacksonville, 267. They've allowed 250. Guys, how many teams have I just rattled off? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 teams. 14th highest scoring team, the Giants. They have a negative 70-point differential. They've only won 2 games because their coach was that bad. They have 264 points scored and they've allowed 334. Green Bay is next, 263. They've allowed 202. Great defense, plus 61. Then you have Tampa. They are 6-5. They have 259 points scored and 284 allowed. They're now in the negative point differential. And then you get to Denver, who is 9-2. They're 6-0 at home. They're 3-2 on the road. They have 257 points allowed, and they are 257 points scored and 192 allowed. So say what you will. Denver's got one of the best defenses out there. We've known that for quite some time. But the Rams have them beat by almost 60 points. So when I hear, Denver would take them or Denver can beat, I don't understand that. Denver hasn't shown the ability to go toe-to-toe and score with the likes of a Rams team. They scored 44 against Dallas in a game they didn't have to score 44. They scored 33 against the Giants. That's not a good football team. They've scored, the most that they've scored against we'll just say a playoff team, is 28 against Indy. They lost. They scored 20 against the Chargers. They lost. They scored 21 against the Eagles. They won. They scored 18 to beat Houston, and they scored 22 to beat Kansas City. If the Broncos had to score points to stick with the Rams, they can't do it. They don't have the offense that the Rams have. This is why I'm saying, as long as the Rams take care of business in the NFC, they don't have a lot in front of them in the AFC. Again, that Chiefs team is a wild card. The Patriots can score, but are the Patriots going to score against this defense? I personally think this is an awful matchup. If we see Rams-Patriots, I think it's an awful matchup for Drake May against this defense. And why do I think that? I'll tell you. Because Drake May is going to want to go deep down the field. He's going to be careless with the football. He's been careless with the football. He's had a great year, but we've seen him at times try to give games away. Obviously not trying to. I probably shouldn't say that in today's world with everything with gambling and all of that. But let's just say it, right? Drake May has been a gambler down the field. And this Rams defense they're in top 5 in the fewest explosive plays allowed through the air. So if you can't win through the air against this Rams team and you can't run the ball against this Rams team, how do you beat this Rams team? You have to hit them with the short passing, and then you have to force takeaways. Patriots can do that, but I just don't think their defense is as dominant as years past. This isn't a Tom Brady Patriots defense. I think Mike Vrabel has done a stellar job. This was my sleeper team. I had them winning 11 games, and I had them go into the playoffs. This was a team I was very excited about and was very high on. But at the same time, this defense is not enough to strike fear in me if I'm a Rams fan, which I am, and you are too. This is what the Patriots have done this year. This defense has allowed 20 points to Cincinnati. It's a 26-20 win. They won 27-14 to the Jets. They found a way to overcome some turnovers against Tampa, win 28-23. They barely beat Atlanta 24-23. Their blowout wins: Cleveland 32-13, Tennessee 31-13, 42-13 over Carolina. Aside from that, they barely stuck on against the New Orleans Saints 25-19. They barely beat the Buffalo Bills 23-20. They lost to the Steelers 21-14. They barely beat Miami 33-27, and they lost the first game of the year 20-13 to the Raiders. This is not, I'm telling you, there's not a team out there right now. Not a team out there right now that can stop the Rams. Things can change, but currently speaking, it's all there. It's all right in front of them for the Rams. We'll see if they do it. Christopher, thank you for the super. When we hit January, this team will be a force to be reckoned with. They kind of already are. But I get what you're saying. Some people are really concerned about the Rams because they feel like maybe they're peaking too early. And is that a fair thing to even say? I can kind of understand why you would say it. But I don't think so. I think this is a team that's learned. I think this is a head football coach that's learned. Sean McVay was never this good at the end of seasons. 2023 and 2024 molded Sean McVay into one of the best second half coaches in football. The Rams always finish the season hot now, and they're doing it again. A good sign that the Rams didn't peak too early, and this is just who they are, is coming off that Seattle win, seeing Tampa with all those injuries, seeing Tampa for what they are. They've lost 2 straight at this point. The Rams know they're better than the Bills, so forth, whatever. They did not for a second come out and assume they were going to win that game. They played that game like they wanted to make a statement. This Rams team had a loss that changed their entire season potentially. That 49ers loss has made this team so angry that if you're in their way, you're just going to get run over at this point. That's what I'm seeing from this team. Roger, thank you for the 10. Appreciate you. Home field advantage has been massive these past 2 games, Jake. I hope it can continue, but I'm scared with higher ticket prices and maybe less. I'm not worried about it. I think it's going to still be there. I do. And I just think now Dodger season's over. You know, you're really competing against the Lakers and the Kings, but the Lakers play 82 games. The Kings play 82. And I think if the Rams haven't already, they're definitely going to take over the Kings, I would say, in LA. I think they'll do that soon if they haven't already. The Lakers, it's different. Just like the Dodgers, different. But right now, with the Dodgers not playing, there's no excuse. Higher ticket prices, sure, but also the argument is, well, do you want to see a guy who you could argue is the unanimous MVP of the season in Matthew Stafford? Do you want to see this team? Do you want to be able to say that you were at all those games the year they won it all again? You know? I mean, that's kind of it. But Roger, I appreciate you. I think people will show up. There's only 2 more games at SoFi, and then you have the playoffs. So I think people will show up. HAV, thank you for the 10. Jake, the Seattle game was truly the most intense home game I've been to. This fan base is alive. That's how I feel, man. That's how I feel. I see it. I'm not there for every game because obviously I live 3,000 miles away. I will be there for is it the next home game? Yeah, I'll be at the next home game. That's funny when you put it that way. I'll be there for the Lions game, which somehow didn't end up being a primetime game. I don't know what they were thinking on that one. But I will be there for that. You bet your ass I will be there for that. I'm so excited. I'll be there with my father. Really looking forward to seeing everybody again, and the people I didn't get a chance to see last time. And we're going to break this SoFi curse that I have because I'm 0-2 at SoFi. We're going to break it. We just are. So, yeah, I'm not worried. Brian, healthy, they are going to be unstoppable. It goes back to what I've been saying. They don't have Aaron Donald. They don't have Jalen Ramsey. They don't have Von Miller. They don't have OBJ. They don't have Triple Crown Cooper Kupp. They have their own guys, right? They have a Jared Verse. They have Byron Young. They have Puka Nacua. The list goes on, right? The reason why this is the best team, the best iteration of a Sean McVay Rams team is simply put, the coaching staff got better. Every coach has improved. The players aren't necessarily better starting wise, but this is by far the best depth they've ever had. They're so deep. They're so incredibly deep. And I just think the way I see it is this. This Rams team from top to bottom has a counter for anything a team wants to do. They're not going to get caught off guard the rest of the year. The only way the Rams are going to lose is if they come out and they're just not themselves. And it's possible. We've seen it happen. You come out and you don't play your best ball. How do you respond? Are you able to still overcome it? We saw it against Seattle. That was not the best the offense has looked. And you give Seattle credit, sure, but there were throws that Stafford was missing when he had time that he won't normally miss. So I just want to make that very clear that this team has a counter to anything any other team is going to offer. That's what makes this team special. Because, okay, you want to take away my run game. All right, well, we'll throw all over you. We'll throw all over you with Puka, with Adams. Tutu Atwell will take the top off the defense. We also got Konate Mumfield who can block. He can get out there. Jordan Whittington, Xavier Smith. Oh, the tight ends that you weren't focusing on? Oh, yeah, about them. Colby Parkinson showed you guys against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's capable. 4 catches, 40-plus yards, and a touchdown. Boom, capable. Higbee will be back at some point, probably in the next 2-3 weeks. He's a good player. Terrence Ferguson. My theory about Terrence Ferguson, why he wasn't utilized, is this game wasn't close. They don't want to utilize Terrence Ferguson unless they have to utilize him. If it's a game where they need him in a moment, that's when they want to use him. Why? Because they're trying to keep his usage under wraps. As soon as you put a guy out there, that guy is now on tape. Now everybody has access to that tape. That's a resume. It's like a study guide. But you don't want people to be able to study you, especially with the playoffs. That's another thing. The Rams, they need to win that they need to get the number 1 seed, but at the same time, think about this. If they get the 1 seed, they're likely playing Seattle. Unless there's an upset, they're likely playing Seattle. And if they're playing Seattle, then what that means is that second Seattle game, week 16, the Rams will be caught in a crossfire of, do we do everything we can to win this game? At the same time, do we shield some of the things that we want to maybe unleash in the playoff game? Because you have to have that kind of, that vision, if you will. You can't let it all hang out because then Seattle's going to know for next time. But you also can't hold back too much because Seattle's that good of a team, you will lose. So it becomes a really interesting dynamic when you think about it, and this is football. So that's something to keep in mind. But yes, healthy, they are going to be unstoppable. They have a matchup to everything. Akella Witherspoon, Emmanuel Forbes are going to be on the outside, I believe, and then I think they're going to have Kobe Durant play in the slot. They're going to mix and match. They're going to do their thing. There's going to be a lot of different things that the Rams are going to be able to do. A lot of different positions, a lot of different sub packages. You add Roger McCreary. I know he got banged up. We'll see if he's okay, but just a lot of different things that the Rams can deploy, and it's going to make it that much tougher on a team to win. And when you talk about the margin for error being a play or two or three, well, having those different things that the Rams are able to deploy, like having a Terrence Ferguson you could just throw out there and you know he's going to come down with a big play, or having a Tutu Atwell, or, you know, having a Josh Wallace or somebody like that, you know, Josiah Stewart as a third pass rusher. There you go, right? Those are the plays that can ultimately decide a game. Ty Davis, for instance, guys like that. So I just think the thing that makes me so confident in this Rams team is that they've just been so dominant in stopping the run. It makes it so hard to if you can't run the football against this team, it just makes it that much more difficult. That's not going to be easy. If you can't run the football against this team, it's just not going to be easy. It's not. Because now, if you use play action, which a lot of teams do, you know, well, now you're basically taking that away, or at least taking away the effectiveness of it. So, yeah. I think that's the thing that if you really look, going out and getting Nate Landman, getting Poona Ford, being able to stop the run the way they do, like, I mean, guys, teams can't really run on the Rams. They might end up with decent amount of rushing yards. They're not running on the Rams, though. I mean, think about that. How many, I'm trying to find it now, how many explosive runs have the Rams given up this year? I want to find that stat. I want to know that stat, because I just feel like they're allowing the fewest in the league, or close to the fewest. See, in terms of yards, which are overrated, by the way, they're like in the middle of the pack. But yeah, it's... And then, by the way, takeaways. I don't know if you knew this. Congrats, now you do. You know how every single week somebody talks about how the Steelers just take away the ball like crazy? I know Cam brings it up on Off the Edge. We'll be doing that tomorrow, by the way. There's always talk about how the Steelers take the ball away. Like, you would think they have 40 takeaways. Actually, the Rams are tied with the Steelers with 20 takeaways. The Rams are tied for second in the league in takeaways with 20, only behind Chicago's 24. The Rams have a plus 12 takeaway differential, a turnover differential, if you will. Chicago is a plus 16. There you go. Last year, so the Rams had 20 takeaways now. The Rams had 20 in 17 games last year. They had a plus 6 differential. In 2023, the Rams had 15 takeaways. That was third worst in the league. In 2022, they had 22 takeaways. That was in 17 games. In 2021, they had 25. That was in 17 games. So you start to see now at 20 takeaways, they had 22 in 2020. They had 24 in 2019. They had 30 in 2018. And in 2017, they had 28. This team has 20 takeaways in 11 games. They have all of the elements to a Super Bowl team. It's like if you were going to build a NCAA tournament team, you want a rim protector, you want a team that can shoot beyond the arc, you want a team that has perimeter defense, a team that can run the fast break, right? And of course, you want probably a senior or a junior that is a floor general at point guard and a winning head coach. There you go. You've now built a formidable postseason NCAA tournament basketball team. But in football, what's the ideal Super Bowl team? Defense, opportunistic defense that can hold in the red zone, check. Offense that can score in the red zone, check. Offense that can explode and actually put together plenty of explosive plays down the field, check. Right? Then you have a winning quarterback, winning head coach. I mean, that's where we're looking at. The Rams have all of the different things that you could want. They have the run game as well. People that want to act like they don't have it, well, they don't need it all the time. But when they need it, they break it out and they can run the football. They have the best coach and the best quarterback in the game. They have the number one scoring defense. They have the 7th scoring offense. So there you go. I still want to see, if I can, the defense, like explosive plays. How many explosive runs? Because that is interesting to me. So, who has given up the fewest explosive runs in the NFL? I want to know that. All right, this is a pain in the ass. All right, well, anyway, the Rams' run defense has been really good. That's that. Not able to find it for whatever reason right now, but they're the number one scoring defense. Nobody can really run against them. You can throw all over them until you can't. That's the funny thing. You can throw on the Rams defense until you can't, and then you really can't throw on the Rams defense. They buckle down for sure. Gregory, thank you for becoming, I believe you were already a member, so I think you probably upgraded, but thank you so much. I appreciate you, Gregory. And then Gregory's back at it with the 25. 57-year fan, new fan of yours. Thanks for all the Rams news. I appreciate you, Gregory. Really appreciate the support. And I'm happy to, of course, be here for that. Yeah, it's been awesome, and I appreciate it. Really, really excited about this year. And I was just going into this year, I knew this was going to be something special to cover. So I've been waiting for this, very much so. Watt Run It, thank you for the 2. Will you be doing more JE lives outside of post game? Is this a JE live outside of post game? It appears it is. Yeah, I'm going to try to. Obviously, my schedule gets hectic, especially around baseball season, but I am definitely going to try and do more of these for sure. Appreciate the super. BYL44, they look really good. Hope they keep it up. Rams fans were robbed of a playoff game last year because of the wildfires. We get home field this year, SoFi will be rocking. I totally agree. And that is a really good point. So I am very much hoping that the Rams get to have that home field advantage that, they deserved, because the wildfires definitely ruined that. And, shout out to Arizona for stepping up and doing their thing, because they definitely helped. They definitely helped. So, yeah. All right, guys, this has been a blast. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're wondering why I went live, I just went live. I put a title up there. We talked about it at the beginning. the news as it stands right now, and I'm sure we'll probably be getting more when I log off because that's like clockwork. That's normally how it goes. Tutu Atwell is going to play this Sunday, and there's the potential of Ahkello Witherspoon returning this Sunday as well. So we shall see, but there is a chance that Ahkello Witherspoon makes his return to the field for the first time since week 2. So that is that. Keep it here for, of course, more Rams info. I'll be live again at 8 with Alexis Kraft doing Downtown Rams. We'll be giving our thoughts on the Tampa game, breaking that down. And then I'll be live at 9 if you guys want to head on over to the NFC West Roundtable. And I will be doing that with the usuals over there. Always have fun doing it with Jesse and Mike and Brandon and, of course, Z-Bot. So, you want more content, you're going to get more content. DTR at 8 Eastern time. That's 5 most people in here. 5 your time on the West Coast. And then Roundtable at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So, really appreciate you guys tuning in. And oh, by the way, I did totally forget. And I am not perfect. I'll never be perfect. But I totally forgot about the giveaway. Wasn't a scam. Just been very busy. New girlfriend. Doing all these different shows. Traveling. A lot of different things. So, I am going to give away a Rams jersey. I'm thinking we do it after the Rams-Carolina Panthers game. So, the live stream of that game will give away the jersey. Fair? Because I know some people have been like, yo, Jake, what's up with the giveaway? I wasn't trying to scam y'all. I just honestly forgot. So, and I never made a date too. That was probably the dumbest thing of what I did. So, I'm a believer in self-scouting. I'll do a better job of that in the future. But yes, I will definitely get that. And then who do I want to see the Rams play in the Super Bowl? I don't care who it is. As long as the Rams are in it, I don't care. But I think it would be great. Give me, if I could decide, if I am all of a sudden the football god, right? And I get to decide how everything goes. I think, because I am a petty person at heart for some things, give me revenge on the Lions. Give me revenge on the Eagles. I would actually like to see if there was some possibility to play the 49ers. I don't think it'd be possible, but play the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. And then they could talk about how, we have whatever they call it, Levi South, and then lose, and then be like, okay, well, we have SoFi North, and then win on that stage and beat the New England Patriots to do it. Because, yeah, they can't lose 3 times to the Patriots. I don't even know what I'll do if that happens. So, yeah. There you go. Anyway, that's going to do it. Great question. Oh, Lucky Lounger, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Shout out to you. Yeah, revenge tour, petty tour, whatever you want to call it. I'm here for it, but I also am here for just like whatever. If the Rams end up playing the Chargers in the Super Bowl or some random team, I'm not going to complain. I just want to see the Rams take their rightful place on top of the NFL once again. Get that second Super Bowl ring for Matthew Stafford. Gear up for a 3rd Super Bowl run with Stafford next year. Do it all over again. That's where I'm at. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys soon. You guys take care. Again, don't forget about DTR and NFC West Roundtable. Until next time, folks. Later. Oh, before I go, and I've been pushing this at the end so it doesn't get claimed, but before I go, also shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper. Almost forgot. My bad. be sure to use my code JKB. The link is in the description below, and you'll get a 100% bonus match up to $100 using that code. So again, JKB, check it out. Get that $20 free entry as well if you haven't already. No deposit required. So definitely be sure to head on over to Sleeper. And it's not just daily fantasy. If you're like me, I moved my Dynasty IDP Fantasy Football League over to Sleeper from a other source, and I highly recommend you do the same. Sleeper is the best place to play fantasy football, and it's definitely the best place to play daily fantasy football. So they also have other sports as well. Get in on the action. Choose Sleeper today. Use the code JKB. Get a 100% bonus match up to $100 using that code. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Later.